Star Trek wasn't just another science fiction show. It was a revolution, a television experiment that reshaped pop culture and inspired generations to dream beyond the stars. Before it became a billion-dollar franchise, before fan conventions filled stadiums, and before Captain Kirk became a household name, there was another man at the helm of the USS Enterprise. A different captain, a different vision, and a mystery that fans have wondered about for decades. Why did the original Starfleet captain vanish before the series even began? Today, we're diving into the little-known truth behind Star Trek's beginnings, the controversy that changed everything, and the decision that altered TV history forever. In 1966, Star Trek premiered with an idea that sounded almost impossible for its time. Creator Gene Roddenberry didn't just want a sci-fi adventure. He wanted to create a reflection of humanity's best self. Inspired by Forbidden Planet, Gulliver's Travels, and even old westerns like Wagon Train, Roddenberry set his story in the 23rd century aboard the USS Enterprise, a starship on a mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. At first, the show struggled. Ratings were low. The budget was tight, and network executives didn't fully understand its potential. But behind the scenes, Star Trek was quietly laying the foundation for a cultural empire, one that would one day include animated series, films, spin-offs, novels, and games. When it finally took off in reruns, Star Trek became a phenomenon, launching new series like The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, and later Discovery and Strange New Worlds. The universe kept expanding, and its message of unity reached millions. But back in 1965, before any of that existed, Star Trek faced a crucial decision that would determine its future. In the very first Star Trek pilot, the captain wasn't James T. Kirk. It was Christopher Pike, played by actor Jeffrey Hunter. Hunter was already an established Hollywood name. Handsome, serious, and confident, he brought real weight to the role. In that original pilot, titled The Cage, Pike led the Enterprise into a mysterious mission that tested his courage and mind. Trapped by aliens who used illusions to manipulate reality, Pike refused to surrender his will. His performance was raw, intense, and emotionally grounded, a captain torn between duty and doubt. NBC executives liked the concept, but not the tone. They wanted something more exciting, faster-paced, and accessible. So, they asked for a second pilot. But when it came time to move forward, Jeffrey Hunter was suddenly gone. For years, fans were told Hunter was unavailable. That was the official explanation. But those who worked on the show knew there was much more to the story. According to William Shatner, Roddenberry once confided that problems had begun between Hunter and his wife, Joan Bartlett. She had started attending production meetings, demanding changes to how her husband was filmed, insisting he be shot from certain angles and given more control over scripts. Roddenberry, already juggling studio pressure and network interference, refused to accommodate her requests. The situation became so tense that he made a bold decision. Rather than recasting Pike, he created a new captain, entirely James T. Kirk. Others close to production say NBC wasn't fully sold on Hunter either. He was a movie actor, and television in the mid-1960 seconds was seen as a step down. Hunter reportedly worried that being tied to a weekly sci-fi show would hurt his career. Whatever the reason, one thing was certain. Hunter and his wife declined to continue, and Star Trek moved on without him. Oscar Katz, an executive at Desilu Studios, the company owned by Lucille Ball, who had championed Star Trek in the first place, later confirmed what happened next. A private screening of The Cage was arranged for Hunter and his wife. Roddenberry and Katz sat nearby, hoping to convince him to stay on board. But as the final credits rolled, it was clear something was wrong. Katz recalled, "I could tell someone in that room didn't like what they saw." Shortly afterward, word came that Hunter wasn't interested. Some say his wife dismissed the show outright, saying, "Jeff is a movie star. This kind of thing isn't good for his career." Roddenberry wrote a polite, heartfelt letter afterward, saying, "I'm told you've decided not to go ahead with Star Trek. That must be your decision, and I respect it. I hold no grudge. It was a quiet farewell, but one that changed everything. Had Hunter stayed, the future of Star Trek might have looked completely different. His serious, introspective version of Pike could have set a darker, more emotional tone for the entire series. Instead, the role went to a young, energetic actor named William Shatner, who brought charisma, humor, and intensity to Captain Kirk. The chemistry between Shatner and Leonard Nimoy Spock became the beating heart of the series and helped turn Star Trek into a cultural icon. As for Jeffrey Hunter, his career never recovered the same momentum. His wife's belief that science fiction was beneath him may have cost him one of the greatest opportunities in television history. Sadly, Hunter passed away in 1969, just a few years later at the age of 42. Although Hunter never returned to the show, his creation, Captain Christopher Pike, was never forgotten. In the two-part episode, The Menagerie, Star Trek reused footage from The Cage, giving Pike's story a touching conclusion. Years later, the character would be revived again. In Star Trek, Discovery and Strange New Worlds, actor Anson Mount took on the role, showing a younger, more hopeful Pike while honoring Hunter's original performance. Mount even received a heartfelt blessing from Chris Hunter, Jeffrey's son, who told him that his father would have approved. Today, Captain Pike stands proudly alongside Kirk and Picard as one of the most respected captains in Star Trek lore, a fitting tribute to the man who first brought him to life. In the end, Jeffrey Hunter's exit from Star Trek was more than just a casting change. It was a turning point, one decision that reshaped science fiction and pop culture for generations to come. Had he stayed, we might never have seen Captain Kirk, Spock, or the crew we came to love. But his brief presence in that first pilot gave birth to a legacy that still lives on nearly 6 decades later. So, what do you think? Did Jeffrey Hunter make a mistake walking away from Star Trek? Or was it simply fate steering the Enterprise toward the legend it would become? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned.